Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Charity Ebrielle, and today I am going to be talking to you guys about how to protect your peace. So let's jump straight into it. I know this can be a difficult topic for some people because you can oftentimes be looked at as a pushover. You don't have your own voice yet, you haven't found that yet. I'm here to help you. So, tip number one is going to be set boundaries. Know how to set those boundaries with people, even your bosses. Like sometimes because your bosses know what type of person you are, they can use that as a tool against you. Let's just say, okay, no one's here to work the weekend, but they know you work Monday through Friday, but since they know what type of person you are, they can use that to get in your mind to make you want to say yes, even though you really want to say no. Learn how to say no. It's okay to say no. For set boundaries, I have a story time for you. So I work in pharmacy, so I remember it was almost time for me to get off. I got a phone call for someone who wanted to put in a refill, and I informed the person that their refill wasn't put in, and I was told that, oh, the refill was supposed to be put in last week. And this person proceeds to say, is your head so far up your ass that you can't do your job? And I said, okay. Moving forward, I didn't even engage in that because it could have went left. It could have went really left. And sometimes I think to myself, like, even before I react to things, I'm thinking like, why would you say that? Like, who says something like that? Like, you're calling my job, but you need help, and you talk to someone who's supposed to help you like they're trash. And I was just like, I guess they'll figure it out, because that's not gonna fly. Like, you can set boundaries and not even engage. You can set boundaries and not even get an attitude back, or because the person that I know I am, I could have really got with this individual and let him really have a piece of my mind. But what was that going to do for me at the end? Like, I'm always a respectful person. I treat people how I want my parents and my grandparents to be treated if they were to call the pharmacy and need their medications. So I'm never hostile. I'm never handling somebody jacked up like this person did me. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'm gonna make the decision for the both of us, because clearly your decision making is jacked up. So I'm just going to end it all together, and maybe you can start over again. Sit with yourself for a little bit. So that's how that went. But that was me choosing my battles, and that's another thing. Choose your battles. Choose what's worth it and what's not, because that wasn't worth it for me to engage in, so I didn't. Tip number two is going to be practice mindfulness. Now, what does it mean to be mindful? Cutesy. To practice mindfulness, it simply means to pretty much be aware of how you're feeling inside. So this comes with paying attention to yourself, to your body, to your own emotions, your inner feelings. When we practice mindfulness, we are spending more time with ourselves to get to know ourselves, listening to what our body is telling us. That inner feeling, that gut feeling, or a mother's instinct. You know what your body is feeling or what your body's telling you. You know what I mean? That's what I mean when I say practice mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness can be you journaling, praying, meditating, doing yoga, taking walks outside in nature. That's a big thing. I love connecting with nature, and that just gives me this release that I need. Showing gratitude. These are all mindful practices that we can all take into account that's going to help us preserve our peace. Some people have like a technique that they use before they fly off the deep end. I've seen with parents, sometimes moms, they'll count to 10 or count to 5. You can do the same thing. You can count to 10, you can decompress, just breathe. You may think to yourself, oh, I'm having a bad morning, this is too much. You're not having a bad day, you're just having a bad moment. The day is filled with so many more moments, but just because you had that one bad moment or that one bad encounter doesn't mean we'll throw the whole rest of the morning away. You just had one small bad moment, but you can still turn that around mentally. But it's all about how you perceive it. Step number 3, limit your exposure to negative influence. Limit your time with negative people. And this can be family members, this can be coworkers, this can be friends, movies, social media, the news, once again, people. We can watch so much stuff on TV and be exposed to so much stuff that we don't even know that our bodies and our minds and our spirits, our souls are absorbing these things. You can watch a bunch of killing, shooting games and, you know, blowing people up, headshots and stuff like that. You can do that all day long until eventually it may start to take an effect on you. You don't always want to be surrounding yourself with negative stuff. People can limit their exposure to the news because it's always something bad going on all around the world. It starts to depress them. You just have to limit your exposure to those things and just kind of block it out. And it's not being, I don't look at it as being, naive to what's going on, because we know that there are bad things that goes on in the world, but we don't always have to be so open and receptive to it taking an effect on us, especially if you know that you're that type of person that can easily absorb those negative feelings. So we know that bad things are going on, but you don't always have to be the one to soak it up like a sponge. Step number 4, engage in self-care. Self-care can mean different things for different people. For some people, self-care is going to get their nails done or going to get a pedicure. Getting out of bed for some people, because everybody's at a different level in life. Taking a nice bubble bath instead of a shower. I know most times we're always on the go. We only may have time to jump in the shower and get out and head to work. Why don't you slow down a little bit and run yourself a nice bubble bath every once in a while? That's self-care. Going for a walk. When it comes to self-care, you want to make that a routine. On Sundays, I take baths, I light candles, I clean my house, I clean my space, and I'm ready for the week ahead. Be intentional about that routine and prioritize that above everything else, because this is for your own inner peace. Number 5 is going to be declutter your space. I remember when I was in school, I couldn't do my homework unless I cleaned up first, because I needed to have a clear mind and I couldn't relax or just lounge around and watch TV if there's chaos all around me. So first you have to declutter your space, put everything back where it's supposed to go. Everything needs to have a space. And I know that's easier said than done, especially if you have children, if you have people who don't clean up after themselves. That can be a big issue. Decluttering your space is going to be a game changer. It's like spring cleaning, but for your mind. The last and final step is going to be cultivate positive relationships. So that can be coworkers, friends, family, anyone who's on that same wave frequency as you, who don't want to be surrounded by negativity all the time, or people who just have things going for themselves. That's going to be really big to kind of create this safe space, this community of people who want to be positive, who look for the good in the bad situations. Getting your own tribe and your own community is always going to make you feel better because you have like-minded